Is there one truth that once you understand it will change your life completely? Hey guys, it's John sitting here in my living room on a fabulous day. 48 degrees outside, just a beautiful, beautiful day. Have you ever felt stuck, powerless, lost? What if I told you that there is a way out of that conundrum of belief? I am feeling stuck. I am feeling lost. These are beliefs about your individual lack of ability to create your life fully. When you dive into spirituality of all sorts, they all talk about you being the creator of your experience, that your belief about the now is the expression that you will experience in the next moment. And those beliefs, they dictate your experience. But the key is those beliefs come to us through a process of feeling. And what happens is we tend to live in reaction to the stimulus of the world rather than creating from the feeling that we desire. And when you look at it from the idea of your feelings are your direct language with God, when you're feeling lost or powerless, and you have that idea that you're held back or blocked, those are not only a belief, but those are a feeling. You feel that way. Now, that feeling is the wisdom of the universe. It's the first line of God speaking to you saying, this is what you're creating. And you start to feel those feelings of block. You start to feel those feelings of limitation. You start to feel that feeling of being lost. And that's God, that's the universe saying, this isn't in alignment with what you're choosing to create. The way we respond to this, the way we come back at this, is to come back from the space of realizing if God speaks to us in feelings, then we have to respond in the same language. When we feel a certain way, that's God saying this isn't for you. That's the universe saying this isn't in alignment with what you're hoping to create. It means you're out of resonance with the desired outcome. And what we can do is go, oh, this doesn't feel right to me. I am creating this new feeling. And you return to the universe and say, this is the feeling I'm creating. And you return with the feeling, I am joyfully receiving, happily creating. If you feel stuck, if you feel powerless, if you feel like you can't get ahead in the world, get out of the mind of it. Get out of the thoughts of it. Get out of the conundrum of the brain that's holding you to that ideology. And come back to the feeling of it. Okay, this feeling is something I don't like. I'm going to take this feeling and I'm going to say, I'm not doing that. I am doing this. And I'm switching my perspective to creating this joyful, loving perspective. I'm telling the universe, this is who I'm being. And the universe is going to give you that in response. When you're being blocked, when you're being lacking, when you're being lost, that's because you are creating that expression. And those expressions don't feel good. Well, the feeling, like I said, is the communication. But what is the feeling? The feeling is love. You want to live in a loving world. You want to live in a world that feels beautiful and joyful. You see, most people think of love and fear as polar opposites, when in reality, there's a sliding scale in between. There's love, there's fear, and there's neutral. The positive sensations are on the loving side. The negative sensations are on the fearful side. When you're feeling that stress, that anxiety, that loss, it's because you are succumbing to fears and anxieties. You are literally giving your power over to fear itself. And what did Yoda say? He said, named must your fears be, before banish them you can. You have to recognize that feeling you have is coming from a fear. The fear of being lost is the fear of not being able to get there, not having the ability, not being good enough, not being loved in some form.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Coffee Time with John. This channel runs off coffee, so get your coffee and tea at johnsjoe.com.
It always comes back to this idea that your true desire in life is to live a life surrounded by love in all forms. Be it romantic love, be it friendship, be it loving experiences, being joyful loving experiences, being in happy experiences, which are on the loving side of the sliding scale. all of those things are you deciding to be loving or be loved or express love into the world. And Jeshua's message about God was about empowerment. And the empowerment is to bring the kingdom of heaven to earth. What's the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is love itself. God is love. And when you bring that love to this present moment by being it, and when you're not being it, you feel that absence, you feel that difference, you feel that thing that doesn't feel joyful. And you go, good, no, I'm not doing that. I am creating this joyful world. And the more we create that joyful world around us, the more the world expresses a joyful, loving world. We can create a loving world. It's a matter of us not succumbing to our fears and anxieties and those negative feelings and those beliefs and lack and blockages. Nothing can block you without your permission. Nothing. You can't get lost if you're the one forming the path. You can't get lost because you're the one. You're the guide of your life. And that guide that you give to this moment is what's going to happen in the next. Guide this moment to be loving and caring. Guide this moment to be joyful and happy. Guide this moment to be an expression of the kingdom of heaven on earth. And what happens is you find that you will have that expression play out around you because that's who you are naturally. You're naturally this loving person. You're naturally this person who wants to be surrounded by love. It is your very nature. And all the rest is just fear playing a game. It's fear around us, our own fears. Fear is not an entity that's separate from us. Fear is a choice within us. And we get to choose to create the loving life and the joyful life, or choose to be blocked, choose to be lost. It always comes down to choice. Choice, and then that choice becomes the belief, and that belief becomes the outcome. So it always starts with choice, always begins with choice. You get to choose. Fear limits what you want to do with your life, because fear is a paralyzer. You want to do something, you're like, oh, well, I don't know about this. Well, so immediately your fear stops you from taking an action. If you want to live in a loving world, if you want to create a world around yourself that feels good, then you have to choose to be good. You have to choose to feel good. You have to choose to live good. You have to choose to be the expression of good, because you are the pinpoint of creation of your own life. Watch your words and your thoughts. Your present moment words are a reflection of your mind, of your conscious and subconscious. If you're saying words that are limiting your beliefs or saying words that are declaring that you're lost, then you're literally creating those things into your experience. You don't have to do that. You can choose to say, this doesn't feel good. Okay, so I am not doing that anymore. I am now creating a joyful, loving experience around myself. My method of meditation is called sitting in love. And what is it? It's me coming back to the feeling of love. It's me coming back to that expression of the world that I want to see around me. And I do that just for myself, to come back to align myself with God within, come back to that place of feeling that joy, feeling that love, feeling that expression of the world that I'm creating. It's a choice. I choose to do it. And that choice itself is something that you have the power to do in every moment. You have the power in this moment to take this moment and choose to feel loving, choose to feel caring, choose to feel amazing in this one moment, in this one day. Take this moment, take this day, and choose to feel, as opposed to be reacting to stimulus. Be an action hero, not a reaction zero. Live in this moment saying, okay, that doesn't feel good. That's just the barometer of what I don't want. I am now taking this moment and showing the universe, God, consciousness, yada, yada, what we're doing next. And God will provide, because that's what you believe. It always comes back to you and your belief and your conscious choice. But the thing that is most important is the language that you speak with God is spoken feelings. And those feelings are choices. And if you feel something that doesn't feel good, recognize that somewhere you've made a choice, be it conscious or subconscious. But you always have the choice to change your mind and change something and do something else. And that's my thought on this. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.